Have you ever felt exhausted even after doing nothing all day? Like your body is completely still, but your mind just won't stop running? What if the problem isn't your energy at all, but something inside your mind that never really lets you rest? Because most people aren't actually tired, they're stuck inside their own thoughts, repeating things that don't even matter anymore. Your brain replays conversations long after they end. It analyzes every decision, every word, every moment. Even things that were never important start to feel heavy. And while your body is resting, your mind keeps working nonstop, quietly, slowly, draining you without you even noticing. Then something even more dangerous happens. Your mind starts creating problems that don't actually exist. It imagines worst-case scenarios, questions everything, doubts your decisions. You begin to feel stress without a real cause. And the more you try to think your way out, the deeper you fall into the loop. That's why you feel exhausted, even when you've done nothing physical. Your energy isn't gone, it's being consumed internally. Every unnecessary thought, every mental replay, every imagined problem is like a small leak. And over time, those leaks drain everything you have, leaving you tired without knowing why. And here's the truth. Most people miss. You don't feel tired because of your life, not your job, not your responsibilities. It's your mind, constantly working against you. It never pauses, never rests, never lets go. And the more it runs, the more exhausted you become, even if nothing around you changes. Your mind is supposed to help you survive. But when it never stops, it turns into noise. Constant thinking doesn't make you smarter. It makes you slower, more anxious, more stuck. Instead of solving problems, it creates new ones. And eventually, you stop trusting yourself because your thoughts never feel quiet enough. So the real problem isn't your lack of energy, it's the lack of silence. Your mind never gets a moment to reset, no space to breathe, no space to recover. And without that space, your energy can't come back because you're constantly using it faster than you can restore it. That's why trying to think your way out doesn't work, because more thinking just creates more noise. You don't need more answers. You need less input, less stimulation, less reaction, because clarity doesn't come from forcing your mind. It comes when your mind finally slows down, enough to see clearly again. The first step is simple, but it won't feel comfortable at first. You stop everything. No scrolling, no thinking ahead, no reacting. You just sit still. And for a moment, you let your mind exist without feeding it more noise. Something most people never give themselves, a real pause. Then you gently move your focus away from your thoughts and into your breath. Slow, controlled, steady. At first, your mind will try to pull you back. It always does. But if you stay with it, something begins to shift. Your breathing deepens, your body softens, and slowly, your mind begins to follow. After a short time, something inside you begins to change. The noise fades, the pressure softens, and for the first time in a while, your thoughts stop racing and begin to settle into something quieter. Not forced, not controlled, just naturally slowing down on their own. And this is where your energy starts to come back. Not because you suddenly rested more, but because something inside you became clearer. Your mind is no longer overloaded. It's no longer fighting itself every second. And when that internal noise begins to fade, something shifts. Your natural energy starts to rise again, gently, quietly, without force, without pressure, without exhaustion. So the truth is, you were never actually tired. Not really. You were just overloaded. Your mind kept running non-stop without a single break. Even when your body was still, it never slowed down. And once you finally give it space, everything begins to change. Because the problem was never your energy, it was the noise that kept quietly draining it all along. Most people never truly realize this. They keep trying to fix their life instead of understanding their mind. They change jobs, routines, environments, hoping something will finally feel different. But the noise follows them everywhere. Because the real source isn't outside, it's internal. And until you clearly see that, you'll keep feeling exhausted no matter what you change. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need more discipline, more motivation, or more effort. You just need to understand what's already happening inside your mind. Because once you start to see the pattern, something shifts. You stop reacting to it. And the moment you stop reacting, you begin to take your control back, slowly but completely. The next time your mind starts running, don't fight it. Don't try to solve everything at once. Just notice it. Step back. Create a little space between you and your thoughts. Observe them without following them. Because the moment you stop feeding them, they begin to lose their power. And slowly, almost quietly, the noise starts to fade on its own. And that's where real freedom begins. Not when everything around you changes, but when your mind stops controlling you. When you can sit in silence without reaching for distraction. When you can think without getting pulled into every thought. That's when something shifts. You begin to feel lighter again, clearer, calmer, without needing to escape your own mind. Because in the end, it was never about how much you were doing. It was about how much your mind was running. And once that finally slows down, something begins to change. Everything feels different, lighter, clearer, like there's space again where there was only noise before. And for the first time in a while, you don't feel exhausted anymore. You feel present, fully here. So if you feel tired, for no clear reason, if you feel drained, even after resting, look a little closer. It's not your body asking for more sleep. It's your mind asking for silence. And the moment you finally give it that silence, something becomes clear. You begin to see what was always there, something most people never truly notice. You were never truly tired. You were overwhelmed. Your mind was carrying too much for too long without a break. And over time, that weight became invisible. You stopped noticing it, but you kept feeling it. And once you begin to let that weight go, everything starts to shift. Because your energy was always there. It was just buried under constant noise. And maybe right now you don't need more motivation. You don't need another plan. You don't need to fix everything all at once. Maybe all you need is to stop. To pause just for a moment. To breathe slowly and let your mind finally slow down just enough to feel like yourself again. Because once you truly understand this, you start to notice it everywhere. Every time you feel tired, you pause and question it. You stop reacting automatically. You take a step back and slowly you begin to break the pattern. Not all at once, but little by little. You stop falling into the same loop again and again, not by force, but by awareness. So no, you're not tired. Your mind just never learned how to stop. And now that you finally see it, you can begin to change it. Because everything starts with one simple realization. The problem was never your energy, it was your mind all along. So tell me, when was the last time your mind truly felt quiet? And if this spoke to you, take a second to like and follow for more.